Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Commanding General of Medical Readiness Command Europe, Brigadier General Clinton K. Murray, welcome to the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center Change of Command ceremony, during which Colonel Andrew L. Landers will relinquish command to Colonel Theodore R. Brown. The change of command is a simple traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. Amongst our distinguished guests for today's ceremony are Brigadier General Clinton Murray and Mrs. Murray, Command Sergeant Major Omar Mascarenas and Mrs. Mascarenas, Medical Readiness Command Europe. Brigadier General Jed Schertl, U.S. Army Europe, Africa. Brigadier General Jens Diem, Bundeswehr Zentralkrankenhaus Koblenz. Colonel Jamil Musa, 86th Airlift Wing. Colonel Ernest Lane and Command Sergeant Major Amador Aguian, 21st Theater Sustainment Command. Colonel Reed Furman and Command Sergeant Major Stephen LaRocque, U.S. Army Garrison, Rheinland-Pfalz. Dr. Walter Alter, Mayor of Mittelbrunn. Representing the Mayor of Kaiserslautern, Ms. Anja Pfeiffer. Representing the City Mayor Landstuhl, Ms. Sascha Rickard. We also welcome all other fellow general officers, commanders, command sergeants major, community leaders, staff, family, and friends of Landstuhl Regional Medical Center that are present today and with us virtually. Units participating in today's ceremony are, from left to right, Troop Command Landstuhl Regional Medical Center, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Anthony Sabatini and Master Sergeant Daniel Crowfoot. Shape Army Health Clinic, commanded by Colonel Charles Douglas and Sergeant First Class Christopher Roberts. Vicenza Army Health Clinic, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Michelle Curley and Sergeant First Class Pak Suh. Baumholder Army Health Clinic, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Maxwell Smith and Sergeant First Class Eduardo Gonzalez. The Landstuhl Regional Medical Center Color Guard, led by Command Sergeant Major Anthony Rose. Wiesbaden Army Health Clinic, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Erica Kane and Sergeant First Class Ronnie Mullins. The 7456th Medical Operations Readiness Unit, Deployed Warrior Medical Management Center, commanded by Colonel Paul Carson and Master Sergeant Stephen Clark. The 86th Medical Squadron, commanded by Colonel Irene Fulleron and Master Sergeant Tristan Traori. And the USAREF Brass Quintet, under the direction of Sergeant Ryan Elliott. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation given by the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center Chaplain, Lieutenant Colonel Ricky Wombles.
Let us pray. Almighty God, bless this day and the soldiers and leaders of Landstuhl Regional Medical Center during this change of command ceremony. God, we thank you for the great leadership and accomplishments of Colonel Andrew Landers as he cared for and guided this LRMC family in fulfilling the mission of providing high-quality, compassionate, safe patient care to our warfighters and their families. We pray that you continue to give him wisdom, courage, and renewed strength, blessing and sustaining him and his family throughout their future endeavors. Now, God, as Colonel Theodore Brown takes the reins of leadership and care over this great organization, may you bless and guide him as well. Help him to lead this family of professionals to do great things in the care of others as they become the best our nation has to offer. Help him to make the right decisions at the right times as he seeks wisdom from those over him, and ultimately for your hand, O God. Amen.
Please be seated. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Colonel Brian Bender, Deputy Commanding Officer for Landstuhl Regional Medical Center. In a moment, the adjutant will direct sound attention and our ceremony will begin.
Sound adjutant's call.
The commander of troops, Colonel Brian Bender, is now moving with the staff to the field to receive the troops from the adjutant. The hospital staff consists of the adjutant, Captain Daniel Johnson, the Chief of Human Resource Division, Major Gregory Haberman, the Chief of Operations and Readiness Major, Brent Stolzoff, and the Chief of the Commander's Initiative Group, Lieutenant Colonel Noe Muniz.
Sound, present alarm. Sir, the command is formed. Take your post. Sound order arm and parade rest.
At this time, red roses are being presented to Mrs. Michelle Landers. These roses stand as a symbol of the deep respect and never-ending affection which has grown for her throughout the past 2 years. The red roses are being presented to Mrs. Landers by the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center's NCO of the Year for fiscal year 2023, Sergeant Catherine P. Torres. At this time, Mrs. Melissa Brown is receiving a bouquet of yellow roses, representing the command's warmest welcome and an everlasting hope that her journey will spring forth new friendship and wonderful memories. The yellow roses are being presented to Mrs. Brown by the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center's Soldier of the Year for fiscal year 2023, Sergeant John Futur. A single yellow rose is also being presented to daughters Emma and Adelaine. Also, gifts are being presented to sons Micah and Jonathan for their love and continued support. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the presentation of honors.
Down on arms and parade rest.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. On November 28, 1951, the 320th General Hospital took operational control of the hospital in Landstuhl, Germany. Construction of a 1,000-bed U.S. hospital began several weeks later. On March 9, 1953, the first 375 patients were moved into the not yet completed facility. The dedication ceremony took place a month later. In 1954, the 320th General Hospital was inactivated and replaced by the 2nd General Hospital. Throughout the Cold War, the 2nd General Hospital continued to expand and modernize. It provided health care to victims of early terrorist attacks and humanitarian disasters. These included U.S. Marines injured during the aborted 1980 rescue attempt of American hostages in Iran, and those injured in the 1983 bombing of the U.S. Marine Corps barracks in Beirut, Lebanon. Soldiers injured in the 1986 Labelle disco bombing in Berlin, and over 500 casualties of the Ramstein air show disaster were also treated at the hospital in Landstuhl. In 1991, the 2nd General Hospital was awarded the Army's Superior Unit Award in recognition of its outstanding support of Operations Desert Shield and Desert Storm. In the 1990s, Landstuhl Regional Medical Center also supported operations in Somalia, the Balkans, and treated victims of the U.S. Embassy bombing in Nairobi. In its role as CENTCOM's Strategic Evacuation Center, LRMC has been privileged to treat over 95,000 wounded, injured, and ill U.S. troops and coalition forces from 56 countries, medically evacuated from Iraq, Afghanistan, and Africa over the past 2 decades. During the Ebola epidemic in 2015, LRMC was designated as the only OCONUS facility that would receive patients from Ebola-affected areas. LRMC efforts in response to the worldwide COVID-19 pandemic were first executed in March 2020 by implementing preventative measures and activating the COVID-19 Screening Center, performing over 220,000 tests to date. Since the first COVID-19 vaccine emergency use authorization, LRMC has inoculated over 45,000 individuals. Following the attacks at Kabul International Airport, Afghanistan, on American service members and Afghan civilians in August 2021, LRMC treated wounded service members. LRMC also provided medical support to thousands of Afghan evacuees as part of Operations Ally Refuge and Allies Welcome. Today, Landstuhl Regional Medical Center is the largest U.S. hospital outside of the United States and includes 5 U.S. Army health clinics in Germany, Italy, and Belgium. LRMC staff includes Army, Air Force, Marines, sailors, Department of the Army and Department of Defense civilians, local nationals, and VA personnel. In addition to serving as the only MedCen in Europe, LRMC plays a key strategic role as the sole evacuation tertiary referral center for 4 combatant commands: AFRICOM, CENTCOM, EUCOM, and SOCOM. The MedCen provides 52 medical specialties, a traumatic brain injury program, and a pain center. LRMC maintains Joint Commission accreditation, is the only American College of Surgeons verified Level 2 trauma center outside of the United States, is the first MedCen in MedCom to receive the Army's Safety and Occupational Health Star Recognition for Safety, was recognized by the Veterans of Foreign Wars, and received the 2012 Armed Forces Award.
Sound attention! Colors, center, march! Detachment, halt! Sir, the colors are present.
Take your position and present the formation.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing of the German and United States national anthems. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. Key to the change of command is the passing of the unit's colors. These colors represent not only the heritage and history of the unit, but also the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibilities to the organization. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. As the senior enlisted soldier in the unit and principal advisor to the commander, the command sergeant major is the custodian of the colors. The ceremony begins as Command Sergeant Major Rose passes the colors to Colonel Landers for the last time. Colonel Landers passes the colors to Brigadier General Murray, thereby relinquishing his responsibilities and authority. Brigadier General Murray passes the colors to Colonel Brown, charging the new commander with the same responsibility and authority. By authority of paragraph 2-5, Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center. Signed, Theodore R. Brown, Colonel MC Commanding. Colonel Brown then passes the colors to Command Sergeant Major Rose, which signifies his confidence in the non-commissioned officer corps, and serves as the Command Sergeant Major's first act of allegiance to his new commander. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander of Medical Readiness Command and Director of Defense Health Agency Region Europe, Brigadier General Clinton K. Murray.
Hey, what a beautiful day. Could be 20 degrees hotter, but I think it's great. As a Sergeant Major Mascarenas told me, didn't order me to, but told me, we'll use that word correctly, please everyone at ease. I've been told I have about a 20-minute speech, and then I think Colonel Landers has about a 22-minute speech, so we'll see how this goes. So you'll be out here for a while, so really, at ease, you're good, relax. So it truly is an honor to be here. I want to welcome some distinguished guests. Joe Dean, thanks very much for coming. It really is great to have you. And really, the Bundeswehr and all the incredible support you offer us. You are a great teammate, and really, truly, we are stronger together. So thanks. General Sherrill, thank you for coming, representing the United States Army, Europe, and Africa, and thanks for all your support, especially within the reserve space. You've truly made a difference. And then I really want to thank our German local partners. You make us feel like we're home here in Europe, and we really do appreciate your support. It really does make a huge difference. And then I also really want to highlight our local military communities. Without you, we don't have the scope and scale that we need to take care of our casualties. And if things go sideways and we have to do large-scale combat operation, we know this partnership will pay off long-term. So thank you very much. I especially want to thank the folks in formation. You truly look awesome. Well done. Some of those colors and guidons looked a little heavy at the last minute, but y'all powered through, so well done. I really do appreciate it. Really want to thank the band. You always add that level of excellence and professionalism, so thank you very much. And then Chaplain, thanks for those great words. Those were really instrumental. And I'm always impressed at how you all stayed in step, and you did a great job. The color guard, always impressive, so well done. And then I really want to thank all the friends and families and the spouses that are here today. Really from a formation standpoint, we have all the key personnel out here. We have all the Army, we have the Air Force. What we do oftentimes miss is our civilians, our GS, our contractors, and local national. I don't think I can get them in formation. I get nervous when a doctor marches. I would get really nervous if a bunch of civilians were out there. But they really are the backbone of what we're doing. So really, it's all the families, it's all the spouses. We know you're here with us in Europe. We know that there's a lot of stress we take home. We know there's lots of challenges being in the military. So we truly, truly appreciate that. And Michelle, thank you for being an amazing spouse for the last 2 years. It was great to give you the Mary Walker Award, truly deserving. And thank you for all that you do. We know that Drew is a better commander because of you, and you've done a truly outstanding job. And then Ted, want to welcome your entire family, Melissa and the 4 kids. Some are here, some are not going to be here for the full 2 years, but it's great to have you all here, and it's really going to be special. So thanks. As I've moved through these changes at command, what has become very obvious to me is if you're a medical commander in Europe for the last 2 years, you've had the most challenging command we have seen in probably over 100 years. And that's absolutely true for Drew. If you look at when he took command, we were in the middle of the pandemic, a global impact that we had not seen for over 100 years. Soon thereafter, he had to respond with the 86, moving a lot of casualties here to Ramstein, divvying up who needed inpatient care versus outpatient care. It was the largest humanitarian mission the United States military has ever done. And then soon after that, we had the war in the Ukraine, and he had to completely operationalize the hospital to be ready for large-scale combat operations, and he absolutely did that. Again, a war we have not seen the likes of approaching 80 years. And then Regional Health Command Europe split up into the Defense Health Agency Region Europe and the Medical Readiness Command Europe, a brand new 2 organizations made from one, again, the likes of which we have actually never seen in military medicine. Any one of those by themselves would have been a great command, but you had to do all of those. And then you layer on top of that a joint commission, always an emotional event for any facility that has to go through that. And all your clinics went through it brilliantly well. And then you actually had an earthquake in Turkey that you had to completely respond to. And the Air Force had to get their critical care air transport teams ready and to be able to do all that. And then the Sudan response, and we had to actually be ready to take folks that were being evacuated from there. So over and over, you kept having requirements outside of the norm, and you truly excelled, and you should be really proud. But what you never lost sight of is what you do day in and day out. You never lost sight of healthcare delivery. You never lost sight of readiness, and you never lost sight of taking care of your people. You did that brilliantly well. And as a Defense Health Agency Region Director, I get to see all the healthcare from Alconbury in the UK all the way to Bahrain. It's about 6,200 people spread across that distance. Over half is in your formation. So you truly are the backbone of what we're doing. In addition, if you look at it from the money standpoint, it's about $420 million. Over half is your budget. So you really are the big kid on the block. They really do come to you for help, and you've been an amazing partner across that entire space. And just to give you sort of perspective of that, in the last year alone, 370,000 clinical encounters were seen in the LRMC system. So in his 2 years, over 750,000 people were seen. 440,000 labs were done this last year alone. 400,000 prescriptions were done in this last year alone. 135 radiological exams. And to really put it into some detail, that's over 57,000 behavioral health appointments. That is a lot of care, and congratulations, it's all gone brilliantly well. But you never lost sight of really why we are forward deployed, forward stationed in Europe, and that's to be ready in case this goes sideways. And you have to support 3 geographic combatant commands. EUCOM, AFRICOM, and CENTCOM, and you were always ready to do that. You were receiving casualties, as was said in the early part of this event. That you get casualties almost every day, and I get to watch those reports every day. Someone is being evacuated here from those 3 geographical combatant commands, and you have to be ready in case it goes to scale. And we saw that in the last 2 weeks with a helicopter crash in Syria. 22 folks were injured. 15 of them were evacuated here. 8 of those were so severe they were admitted as an inpatient, and the other 7 were outpatient. And you handled that brilliantly well, just like it was the old days in Iraq and Afghanistan, without missing a beat. Congratulations. You did incredibly well. But you also didn't lose sight from a large-scale combat operation our future problem set. So you completely worked with the Bundeswehr. You did exchange programs. You're now building an exchange program with the Koblenz Hospital and bringing their folks down here. Because if we don't do that, we will not be successful. You've done the level 2 trauma. So now you're externally validated that you do have the excellence to take care of trauma. And you've absolutely worked with our local partners here in the area and really across all the countries we're in to make sure we can take care of everyone. So congratulations. I can keep going, but they're getting tired out here. You really have done an absolutely amazing job, and you should be very proud. And it's going to be a sad day. It is a sad day that you're leaving. I'm sort of thrilled because you're going to move across the street from my current command, and you're going to be in charge, taking command of the 68th Theater Medical Command, a brand new command. He's going to breathe life into this brand new command and take some responsibilities off of us and put them on your own shoulders, which is awesome, at least for me. All right? And it's great to have Ted and his family coming. I think we do transitions better than anyone, especially in military medicine. And Ted really has all the experiences to excel. He's a family physician and a preventive medicine OC Health doc by training. He's had great assignments. He just came to us from HRC, sort of running Army medicine at the Human Resources Command, and really understands that. He's commanded at the inpatient facility at Fort Riley. He actually commanded here in Stuttgart, so he's very familiar with our experience here in Europe. He's been on the CENTCOM staff, so he understands geographical combatant commands. He's worked in the Special Forces space. He's deployed to Afghanistan. So absolutely has all the experiences and really has the reputation that he will absolutely lead and do brilliantly well. So Ted, welcome to you and your entire family, and I look forward to you continuing to excel. And again, Army Medicine's Army Strong, stronger together. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, the outgoing commander of Landstuhl Regional Medical Center, Colonel Andrew L. Landers.
General Murray, the formation will be excited. You took about half my speech there, so we should get it down to about 15 minutes. Brigadier General Mrs. Murray, Brigadier General Schertle, Brigadier General Diem, Command Sergeant Major Mascarenhas, Mrs. Pfeiffer, Mrs. Oliver, Mr. Rickert, Mr. Heckler, Dr. Alter, Dr. Munch, Dr. Christensen, Dr. Fulman, Mr. Vogel, fellow commanders and command sergeants majors, family, friends, most importantly, this team on the field today and the local nationals, DOD, DHA civilians that make up the Landstuhl Regional Medical Center team. Hey, welcome, and thank you for attending today's change of command ceremony. To the men and women of the LRMC team, I stand here today 25 months after taking command, even more humbled by the privilege that it was to be your commander and director. Personal and professional readiness was our mantra. And this team executed the mission flawlessly, all while maintaining a focus on high quality, compassionate, and safe patient care. It was always about the collective we, the LRMC team family. Command teams, color guards, soldiers, airmen, and the one Marine on the field today, you look outstanding. To the USARAF Quartet, thanks for all that you do and the class that you bring to every ceremony as we continue our traditions. I'd also like to thank Lieutenant General Dingle, Brigadier General Thompson, and again, General Murray for the opportunity to lead this unbelievable organization. General Murray, thank you for the kind words, but most of all for the coaching and teaching that you poured into me, but the entire LRMC team and the Medical Readiness Command Europe team. You truly are a servant leader, and it was an absolute honor and a privilege to serve under your leadership. Look forward to working for you again there at the 68th. The team of 5. Team LRMC has absolutely mastered the art of flexecution over the past 2 years. As General Murray mentioned, multiple of these accomplishments, but really you think about the continued COVID support, OAR, OAW, preparation for Ukraine, continued exercises with only our host nation and our military partners. And then most recently, he talked about the helicopter crash that we took care of those service members coming in from Syria. And then throw on top of that the Joint Commission Survey, one of the most dreaded 3-letter acronyms that any healthcare system person would acknowledge. But this team never missed a beat. They were always ready. And with that, we received full accreditation in the hospital accreditation program, primary care, medical home, and the behavioral health care and human services. We also found a way to have some fun, at least I think. We did some organizational days. We did some battle staff rides, resiliency trips, holiday balls, our first annual Landstuhl Legacy Fest, all the way to our 70th anniversary celebration. For some reason, I hope those videos disappear. Also winning the Commander's Cup for the intramural sports competition. Hundreds of foreign badges owned by this team that you see on the field. Also winning the coveted Medical Readiness Command Europe Best Leader competition and having 3 of the 6 teammates on the winning MedCom Best Leader competition. This group just gets after it, and I could not be more proud of all that they had accomplished. But one of the greatest things about being here in Europe and in Germany is the tremendous partnerships that we are able to form, especially with our adjacent units. I'd like to personally thank the 21st TSC, Major General Smith, and now Brigadier General Promotable Reagan for their unwavering support of Team LRMC. There was never a time that when we called on the 21st TSC for assistance that they weren't there, and then some. So thank you for that support. Of course, we also have our Air Force teammates, the 86th Airlift Wing. First we had Brigadier General Olson, then Brigadier General Jones now, and we had the 86th Medical Group under Colonel McClure and Chief Thomas, and then you can see the 86th Med Squadron on the field here. That just symbolizes our bond, our commitment to teamwork under the leadership of Colonel Fulleron. And I want to thank our Air Force partners for bringing the Spice Brown to LRMC. To my Medical Readiness Command Europe and Medical Command teammates, Colonel Carantini, Command Sergeant Major Boudreaux, Colonel Spicer, Master Sergeant Ermac, Colonel Rankin, Sergeant Major Quintana, Colonel Henderson, Command Sergeant Aquindo, thank you for your support of Team LRMC over the past 2 years. And I will never forget our extremely supportive Rhineland Falls Garrison Command Team, Colonel Furman, Command Sergeant Major LaRoque. Your support of base operations and our soldier programs has been truly amazing. We also had the privilege, as General Murray mentioned, to partner with our German military and civilian medical teams. From Brigadier General Diem and the Bundeswehr Central Hospital at Koblenz, Dr. Pohlman in the Saarland University Medical Center in Hamburg, and the entire Westphal Clinical Medical Team have just been outstanding, not only to LRMC, but to our beneficiaries. As well as the DRK, the German EMS system, and the German Trauma Network, with a special shout out to Dr. Hofer for his support in making that happen. All of these partners that I've mentioned have been actively planning and training with LRMC on various mass casualty and emergency response scenarios, helping to assure that LRMC is able to maintain our 24/7 readiness mission to ensure that we're there for the joint warfighter when they need us. I cannot say thank you enough for your partnership and friendship with LRMC. And a huge shout out to the mayors of the communities that we live in and that provide us the support that our families deserve and need, from Landstuhl, Kaiserslautern, and Ramstein. A deep felt thank you. But I've been blessed with an amazing group. This tenure here has been absolutely nothing about me. It has been about the team and the unbelievable professionals that stand behind me and are part of the LRMC organization. And for my DRU commanders, I had McWhirter, Ron, Wilson, Jones, Schneider, Kane, Smith, Curley, Douglas, Meredith, Stargazer Spilly, Zysett, Carson, and of course our 86 Med Squadron teammates of Jersey and Fulleron. And then a special thank you to all the directorate, service line, and department chiefs in our support sections of LRMC that really made the magic happen, day in and day out in the delivery of health care. To the deputy team, or as I like to say, the Legion of Boom, Colonel Bryan, Colonel Bender, Colonel Schroeder, Colonel Kim, Colonel Campbell, Dr. Marino, Lieutenant Colonel Geisen, as we now transformed into the DHA and we assumed oversight of dental activities. Thanks, Lieutenant Gross, for coming over as the first Deputy Commander for Dental Services in LRMC history. Thank you all for your hard work and dedication to the mission, but always ensuring that we took care of the LRMC family. And then we've had some pretty amazing executives: Nona, Victoria, Sandra, Chris, Sabine, Adriana, Petra, and our recently retired protocol officer, Miss Igo. Your support to the headquarters team has been nothing short of stellar. To our senior enlisted advisors of the deputies, or as I affectionately call them, the E8 Mafia, Morgan, Brewster, Holman, Fitzhugh, Stringham, Stegall, Palacios, Cray, Burns, and Bocanegra. You want to talk about getting it done? I have never been around a group of senior enlisted that listen to the concerns and needs of an organization, come up with solutions, and then just execute. And then we have the adjutant team, as you saw Captain Johnson beelining to the point. I appreciate the USARAF quartet for helping him out, stringing out that last note. Wizenhunt, Hutch, Bigger, and Pierre, hey, thanks for always making sure that Command Sergeant Major and I were where we needed to be and getting us there safely, and most of the time in the correct uniform. And then to my XO, Lieutenant Colonel Pounders, probably the toughest job in the command, trying to keep me on track, controlling the calendar, and thanks for at least letting me have lunch once a week. In all seriousness, Josh, thanks for everything. I look forward to working with you at the 68th. A commander is only a small part of the command team. It is the senior NCO, the command sergeant major, that keeps the organization moving. I don't have the words to express the gratitude to the outstanding senior enlisted teammates that I had the privilege to serve beside. Start with Command Sergeant Major Joseph, then Command Sergeant Major Contreras, Command Sergeant Major Ion, Command Sergeant Major Mascarenas for like a month, and now Command Sergeant Major Rose for the past 6 months. Yes, I had 6 Command Sergeant Majors in 25 months. And to be honest, I am not exactly sure how to interpret that. But I have learned from all of them, and I feel that we will all be lifelong friends. Thanks to all of you for your support, guidance, and feedback during our time together. Team LRMC, you are getting an outstanding commander, officer, leader, but most importantly, a phenomenal person with an amazing family. Ted and Melissa and the entire Brown family, welcome back to Germany. I couldn't be more excited. But more importantly, welcome to the LRMC family. The Army definitely got it right. This team is primed and ready for your leadership, and they are not afraid of MHS Genesis. Hey, join me in a round of applause to welcome the Brown family. Check it out, team. Check it out. On a personal note, back in January of 22, my family came for a visit. And they were scheduled to come for just a regular tour of a hospital. And that morning I get a phone call from Michelle, and she says, hey, your dad's not doing well. So I said, bring him directly to the emergency room. So comes in, he was having a stroke. So he was evaluated, treated, admitted to the intensive care unit for several days. And I cannot say enough about the care and compassion that this team provided for him. And the interactions of the nurses and physicians with him and my entire family. We were able to get him back to the States where he required 2 more hospitalizations, and all that my family could talk about is that the care that he received at LRMC was infinitely better than any interacture care that he was receiving back at home. Unfortunately, he passed away several weeks after that. But my family and I will forever hold LRMC in our hearts for all they did for us. I love this team. I also want to thank our outstanding organizations that we have that partner with us every day in everything we do. We've got the Wounded Warrior Project, we have the American Red Cross, and the USO. I have never been inside of an organization that all three of these collective groups come together just to get after it and to take care of people. They don't care who gets credit. They don't care whose name is on a flyer or a banner. They are there for our service members and our families. So to Gino, Kristen, Christy, and Jimmy, and the rest of the entire volunteer crew, hey, I salute you for your service. In closing, and most importantly, I'd like to thank my family, but most of all, my absolutely wonderful wife, Michelle. Your love and support has been the foundation for me and our family for 27 years that I've worn this uniform. Thank you for all that you have done for me, for our families. You truly are my better half, and I love you. Thanks everyone for being here, for everything that you do for our nations and our military. May God bless each of you. Excellence through teamwork and selfless service, forging lasting relationships. Army medicine is Army strong, and we definitely are stronger together. Legacy 6, signing off.
Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of Landstuhl Regional Medical Center, Colonel Theodore R. Brown.
General Murray, General Schertl, General Deem, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, fellow commanders, command sergeants major, service members, family, friends, and Landstuhl Regional Medical Center teammates. It is an honor to stand before you as the incoming commander, and I am humbled by the opportunity and responsibility entrusted to me. Thank you for taking the time to attend today's ceremony and for honoring Colonel Landers, myself, and Team LRMC with your presence. In appreciation for all who are participating in today's ceremony or who have played a role in making it possible, would you all join me in one more round of applause? Team, good news, my speech is shorter than Colonel Landers, but I'm not going to start until y'all shake it out. Go ahead, shake it out. Okay, that was pretty weak. We'll work on it. All right, we're almost there. First and foremost, I want to express my gratitude to Colonel Landers for his exceptional leadership and unwavering dedication to the LRMC mission. They say you should always be training your replacement. Well, more than 20 years ago, then Major Landers was doing just that when he reported to a faculty assignment in the Family Medicine Residency program at Womack Army Medical Center. I'm sure on more than a few occasions, then Captain Brown, a third-year resident, woke Dr. Landers from a deep sleep to discuss a case and plan for admission. While it has been a few years since that last such call, I've been privileged to have Colonel Landers as a teacher, mentor, physician colleague, fellow commander, and friend. Drew, I'm privileged to follow in your footsteps and humbled to take the guide on from you today. I must also thank Team LRMC, specifically those in the headquarters who have helped facilitate my transition and all of Team Brown. A special thank you to my XO, Captain Chris Powell, for herding many cats, including one that we brought from the States, and making what has undoubtedly been our most complex PCS to date a very smooth one. Thank you all for your professionalism and for welcoming Team Brown to the LRMC family. Today, as we reflect upon the significance of Landstuhl and its strategic role for U.S. interests and freedom abroad, we're reminded of the unbreakable bond that exists between military medicine and our forward deployed troops. Our medical center, nestled in the heart of Europe, continues to be a vital hub for medical care for 4 combatant commands, extending its healing touch far beyond the confines of its walls. Every day, our dedicated medical professionals work tirelessly, providing compassionate care to those who need it most. We're not just a hospital. We're a lifeline for those who put their lives on the line, our servicemen and women, as well as their families and our partners and allies. We must never lose sight of our responsibility as stewards of the dual profession of military medicine. The medical professionals of Landstuhl Regional Medical Center are guardians of a legacy that stretches back generations, and you heard that legacy described to you earlier today. They carry the torch passed down by those who came before us. As such, it is our duty to uphold the highest standards of integrity, compassion, expertise, and excellence. Together, we will continue to shape the future of military medicine while leaving a lasting impact on the lives we touch by improving health and building readiness anytime, anywhere, always. General Murray, sir, I'd like to thank you and our MedCom senior leaders for your trust and confidence in affording me this incredible opportunity to command once again and to do so along with this team. To Team Brown, my wife Melissa, and our kids Emma, Micah, Johnny, and Adeline, thank you for enduring 9, 8, and 7 moves, now 3 overseas, so that I may continue to serve soldiers, service members, and families. As each move has typically involved more sacrifice for you than for me, your service to our Army is no less significant than mine. I love you all very much. Thank you. In closing, I assume command of this incredible team today with a deep sense of honor, pride, and commitment. Thank you all for your unwavering support of Team LRMC, with whom I look forward to serving for the good of our patients and all those we serve. Selfless service, Army medicine is Army strong. Legacy 6, signing on the net.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the playing and singing of the Army Song, and remain standing for the departure of the official party.
This concludes the ceremony. Commander, take charge of your units.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Please join us in saying farewell to Colonel and Mrs. Landers near the front of the reviewing stand, and welcoming Colonel and Mrs. Brown to the Public Health Command Conference Room to the left of the field for reception. Thank you again for attending Landstuhl Regional Medical Center's change of command ceremony today. Please drive safely as you return to work or home.
Please look us up whenever you're in B-spine. I got a couple more months left. My wife and I.